Hi, my name is Brooke Finister, and I run the Urban Sloth, which is my arts and culture platform dedicated to Black contemporary art and my experience of being a Black woman, going into the museum world, and becoming an emerging museum professional and an aspiring curator and writer. And so, thank you for joining me on my journey. Today, May 30th, is officially 100 days until I start my very first day of classes at Columbia, and I become a Columbia Lion officially. I already have the letter, but now we need to sit in the class to really say that I'm a Columbia Lion student, and I'll be in New York City. I'm just so excited. Okay, done fangirling. And today is actually National Creativity Day, so happy days, everyone, and go be creative. And in pursuit of that, I'll get a little creative and tell you a little story about how I want to get paid for me being me and what brings me here to YouTube today. As any first-generation student stressed out about student loans will tell you, I started looking for competitive work very, very early because I was really concerned about how work would play in with my classes this fall and also how I'm going to be transferring from California to New York seamlessly. This is my first big move. This is also something I'm super new and excited about. And it's not necessarily going too amazing because there's still a lot that I still have to learn, but that's of course what time will tell me more about. So in honor of National Creativity Day, I'll tell you a little bit more about how I started my Instagram and where it's going to be going. First of all, I needed to know that I had really good content that would not only bring in people to my Instagram, but then to also just kind of build my voice. So building comfortability, knowledge, and kind of just like a skills base of how marketing social media work. So I looked to LinkedIn Learning and kind of started doing more trial and error. And we've slowly made our way to 200 followers. Thank you so much. And it's been really exciting. I've been sharing a lot of pictures from New York and from California from past exhibitions pre-COVID. So you'll notice a lot of people aren't wearing masks. Don't worry, we're all being safe. This is all from 2019. But it was something that I was doing from the comfort of my own home while I was sitting in my pajamas and praying for the day that we could go outside, and it was no longer illegal to go outside. But as California announces that June 14th will be the official day that California can start going to 100% capacity, there's a lot of things to really be excited for in the San Francisco Bay Area as well as LA before I go off to New York and I experience all of those lovely things there. There's so much public art out there that I highly encourage you to go experience and explore, especially around downtown areas. You'd be totally surprised. So back to my main focus of what I want to do here. I know that I can do the work, but I wouldn't necessarily be qualified because I didn't have the education needed for a lot of these mid-level or higher level employment roles. So avoiding entry level anything is kind of where I am because I have all the skills, but I don't have the 5+ years experience because I'm only 22. And so doing LinkedIn Learning, having the fellowship that I have now, and working with mentors is my way of bridging that gap before I start my schooling. And I want to say thank you so much to all of the mentors that I have had and currently have that have opened up all of these amazing doors for me to get to this point. This is an amazing opportunity. Not to mention being able to curate a fellowship to my goals of being an aspiring curator and writer. That doesn't happen very often. And the best part about having all of this is that I'll probably be taking all of my mentors with me in some way, shape, or form. I wish I followed my instincts a long time ago in about the midway through the pandemic and I picked up an online COVID master's, which I feel like a lot of people were doing. And those accelerated 1-year virtual programs are kind of starting to go away. And I missed the deadline, but that's okay. It wasn't until now that I decided to learn more about marketing and career management as a way to not only help myself, but also be a resource for anyone who would come to me in the future looking to find a way to find their niche community, their village. And it was probably the most affordable online education with certificates, built into your resume, and it's something that everyone can agree, hey, you did a good job. Like, this is something of merit. And that leads me to the purpose of this video, which is to highlight my progress and update you on my advancements and let you know that I have a countdown coming up where I'll be working on my big picture of getting to Columbia and what that means to me and the things that are on my post-COVID bucket list. I'm very excited to go outside. I'm starting another campaign through Facebook, and it'll be a continuation of the original $5,000 that I was hoping to crowdfund as a scholarship for myself. It is very competitive to find any art history scholarship or fellowship. It is also extremely competitive because I feel like contemporary art isn't looked at as necessarily an important area of art history that needs to receive funds. At least that's been my experience. Had I chosen to go into the Baroque, the Renaissance, or anything classical or Roman, I would have had so much more money at my disposal, so much more scholarships I could have applied for. And I, chose the harder path because it was more interesting. And so as we do that, definitely check out that Facebook campaign down below, share it to your page, and ask for people to help support me on my journey. It not only helps me keep my Instagram going, but it also will be helping with my flight and incidentals. Luckily, I will be living in dorms, so I don't have to worry about rent quite yet. But it is something that is definitely helpful and is something that you can absolutely do to help a young emerging student who's first in her family, first generation, to go on to my master's. So in honor of National Creativity Day, I'm going to bring in these 50 bread ideas from the Spark Creativity Matchbox that I found at a museum store, which is absolutely so cute because it's an actual little matchbox and each prompt is a little matchstick. So the first 5 that I've chosen for today are: use yourself as a muse. Let old creations inspire you. For myself, that's a lot of the sketches that I've done, old journal prompts and things like that, and reading and things that I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I should totally share this with someone. Go back to that. Let it inspire you and reignite some old flame that you had inside of you that you maybe kind of forgot about. It happens. We're kind of in a post-COVID kind of space, and it might be time to revisit things before COVID happened that you were really excited about and see where you are now. Spend 10 minutes a day on a new creative pursuit and repeat it for a week. Building new habits is something that we were all doing during COVID. I mean, when we weren't trying to make sourdough bread, that was weird. I'm pretty sure a lot of people's homes were smelling a little off because sourdough bread is very sour. But definitely, like, if it's Spanish, do Duolingo for 10 minutes a day. If it's wanting to learn more about marketing, I'm using LinkedIn Learning in order to do that, and I do 30 minutes a day. And the more you repeat that on a daily basis, the more it becomes a habit, and you might learn something very new about yourself, create a whole new skill set. Who knows? I'm just really excited for that. And you go. I'm excited for you. Okay, keep a notebook by your bed and write down ideas when you wake. I personally prefer to sketch whenever I can't sleep. Sometimes I'll go on Pinterest and I'll start sketching something, and then I'll create something totally different than what I'm using as a reference. And that is definitely something very meditative. It's good as a mental exercise and activity to just kind of wake up your brain. And it also is just, a little part of yourself being expressed, and that might also just be what you needed. You just need to express yourself. Okay, read about or learn something outside of your area of expertise. Again, taking classes, whether it's community classes or doing like a YouTube series or following a master class or those other module-based learning activities, definitely do so. Sometimes going outside of your own community is exactly what you need to do in order to make yourself better within what you're currently doing. It might inspire some creative thinking, some critical thinking, and I'm just really excited for that. Like, you go do that. And lastly, approach a problem or setback as a golden opportunity. I did not get into Columbia the first time. that was a golden opportunity for me to take a gap year and reassess where we are. I then reapplied and then got in, so that worked out. I highly recommend you do so as well. That might be exactly what you need to do. So today I'll be posting hot spots in California and New York that not only inspire me, but get me really excited about visual art culture, public art, and art spaces that really explore and expand the dialogue of just expression itself and the meaning of the human experience. I feel like that if you need to know anything about visual art culture, it is the human experience. So subscribe, turn on notifications on Instagram. I know you want to know about my Instagram posts. I know you want to know about my story posts, because sometimes we look like this. Sometimes we look like a potato. It's interesting, it's new, it's exciting, and who knows, I might go on a walk later on today. And we have 99 days left to go until I start my very first day of classes at Columbia.